action, adventure, horror. If you love anime that blends all three, then you're a dark fantasy lover. And here's a list of the top 10 dark fantasy anime you should watch, especially if you're new to the genre. These picks are a bit subjective, so don't forget to share your own favorites as well. Now, let's dive in. Number 10, Mononoke. This is the kind of anime that you stumble across mid-scroll and suddenly feel like you have to watch it. It's visually appetizing, like Japanese wood block prints brought to life with psychedelic colors. The anime follows a medicine seller whose name is never really revealed. He wanders through feudal Japan dealing with vengeful spirits known as Mononoke. Now it sounds crazy, believe me. Only the premise sounds crazy. Otherwise, it's more like Sherlock Holmes with supernatural vibes, which is honestly what we expect from anime. The seller has to uncover the form, the truth, and reasoning behind each spirit before he can unsheath his sword and exorcise these demons. The anime itself is often considered a moving art exhibit, though it sometimes drags the story. And I can understand why. It's done to build the groundwork for how the seller is going to defeat them, so there may not be constant war and killing, but the story does move forward. That alone is enough for dark fantasy lovers. Number 9, Made in the Abyss. Let's imagine a situation. There's a deep giant hole next to your town, and it's so dangerous that if you go there out of curiosity, you'll be cursed. And if you somehow manage to return, would you still go? Because honestly, if you ask me, I wouldn't. But Rico, our orphan girl from Made in the Abyss, definitely would. And if she didn't, we wouldn't get to watch one of the most emotional, triggering, dark fantasy anime out there. So here's the story. Rico, whom I already introduced, wants to explore the abyss just like her mother and dreams of becoming a white whistle. During her journey, she meets a half-human, half-robot boy named Veg, who interestingly can't remember anything about his past. Together, they begin their descent, and that's when the mysteries start to unfold. Now the big question is, how does Rico, along with this half-robot boy, deal with the curse of the abyss? Do they actually reach the bottom or not? I'm not going to answer that. Obviously, you have to experience it for yourself. What I do want to mention is that the anime starts with an optimistic and light-bearing tone, but slowly grows darker, exploring the brutal aspects of being human. The cute art style tricks you into thinking it's safe. You get emotionally attached to the characters, and then the show tests just how much you care about them. If I say it's an emotional roller coaster, trust me, I mean it. Some fans even call it psychological horror, so don't forget to add this one to your list. Number 8, Berserk. I won't sugarcoat anything when it comes to this anime, and honestly I don't need to, because everything about it speaks it for itself. If you notice, Berserk is always highlighted whenever dark fantasy genre is discussed, and that's not without reason. So here's what hooked me. This 1997 anime covers the Golden Age arc, which is essentially Guts' backstory before everything around him goes catastrophically wrong. Guts is the protagonist, is born from the corpses of his hanged mother and grows up to become a lone mercenary. His life changes when he joins the band of the Hawk after losing a battle to Griffith, a charismatic and striking leader with grand ambitions, but those ambitions come at a devastating cost, and the series doesn't shy away from showing the sufferings and loss that follows. This anime satisfies that deep craving for brotherhood and powerful bonds that never form in predictable ways or easy ways. That's a big reason why so many people love Berserk. It has a rock-solid plot with incredible character depth. The action can feel choppy at times, and sometimes the backgrounds go static to the point where it barely looks animated. But honestly, none of that matters once you're fully invested in the story. For me, it feels almost Shakespearean in its tragedy and intensity, and if you watched it, I'm sure you'd agree. And as for the ending, it's something you won't see coming at all. So honestly, bookmark this anime right now. In a medieval world, there are shape-shifting demons called Yoma who feed on humans, and the only defense against them are the silver-eyed warriors known as claymores. Claymores are half human, half Yoma, and they are humanity's only hope. This isn't your typical isekai anime that lures viewers with fan service. In fact, Claymore treats female characters with far more respect than most series without any gratuitous fan service. The anime focuses on these female warriors, their tragic backstories, and their distinctive fighting styles. Claire, our protagonist, shows how internal struggles can make battles even more intense at times. I just wanted them to forget all the rules and strategy and simply fight. Everything else could wait. Beyond the personal struggle, the story also delivers conspiracies, action, and fantasy. The opening and ending themes were especially satisfying to me, enhancing the gothic atmosphere without ever feeling overbearing. So yes, you can definitely watch this anime, maybe on a lazy day, to soak in some high energy, dark fantasy vibes you'll enjoy. Number 6, Goblin Slayer. If you ever have a slightly good image of goblins, this anime will completely shatter it. It's about a group of rookie adventurers who take on a goblin slaying quest, thinking it'll be easy, but it's anything but easy. In fact, things go wrong in ways that are deeply uncomfortable to watch right from the very first episode. Then comes Goblin Slayer, who takes charge eliminating of the goblins, and if that's all, you might wonder why the show makes the list. What's exciting is how Goblin Slayer handles goblins. He uses poison, fire, floods, cave-ins, whatever it takes, and somehow it never fails to deliver something new every time. That creativity and strategy is what keeps the show gripping. What also got me invested are the supporting characters like the priestess, who somehow survives her first quest and decides to stick it with Goblin Slayer because she knows that's the only way to survive. Now, a heads up, the first episode is a bit triggering and you may or may not enjoy it, but the story develops, everything starts to fall into place. It's refreshing to see a real consequences from actions, something many anime often overlook. On top of that, the intelligence and the planning behind all the action make it feel grounded and satisfying. Trust me, you'll enjoy it. Number 5, Hellsing Ultimate. When it comes to action, what matters most, well, is action. That's what you're looking for. Hellsing Ultimate will absolutely meet your expectations. This anime is pure, unfiltered action. Unlike other heroes who fight, fall, train, and make a comeback, Alucard is born overpowered. He exists to serve the Hellsing organization, which protects England from supernatural threats. But things escalate when a Nazi organization, the ultimate threat, enters the scene, and you have no idea what Alucard has planned to take them down. Of course, he's a vampire and ridiculously overpowered, regenerating from practically any wound. You might think that's enough, but the show proves there's more to him than just brute strength. What really elevates Hellsing Ultimate is Alucard's character. He's not a tragic hero whining about being a monster. He fully embraces it and serves the Hellsing organization out of genuine loyalty. The animation is next level. Thanks to 3 studios collaborating on it, every action scene is fluid, detailed, and about. Number 4, Dororo. As the name does not suggest, this anime is all about comebacks. I know we're all waiting desperately for a comeback. But in the meantime, let's watch Hikamaru's return. The story follows Lord Diego, who, desperate to protect his kingdom from devastation, and ends up making a deal with demons that costs him the limbs of his unborn son. When the baby is born, he is adopted by the doctor Jukai, who raises him and helps him uncover his missing body parts. Sounds simple enough, but it's far from easy. The boy named Hikamaru sets out to hunt demons alongside another young fighter named Dororo. What really hits hard are the emotional moments when Hikamaru regains his sense and abilities. One by one, you can generally feel the pain and joy of slowly becoming whole again. But don't underestimate the action side of this anime. It's intense and well executed, backed by great story development. The relationship between Dororo and Hikamaru's deep emotional, and there's something uniquely beautiful about Dororo's gender presentation that you really need to see for yourself. All in all, the series has so much to offer that you can't help but appreciate it, both for its emotional depth and thrilling action. Number 3, Drifters. Coming from the creator of Hellsing, Drifters is an anime that's just as wild but completely different. It follows Shimazu Toyashiya, who gets injured in a battle, and while walking off the battlefield meets a mysterious man named Morisaki. Morisaki sends him to another fantasy world, one full of different races of constant war. And what do you think Toshiya does? Obviously, he fights. The comedy relief moments didn't really land for me, but overall, the tone of the series works. The plot is straightforward and engaging, though I do wish the anime focused a bit more on Toshiya's Japanese personality to properly introduce it to this new world. Even so, the soundtrack balances out the flaws, and at the end of the day, I'd rate it a 8 out of 10. If you'd watch Drifters, I'm sure you'll agree. Number 2, Jujutsu Kaisen. This anime is pure energy, packed with excellent fight choreography and constant intensity. It's hard not to get hooked. The story follows Yuji Ittori, an athletic and good-hearted teenager who unfortunately can't avoid danger. He swallows a cursed finger belonging to Ryomen Sukuna, the king of curses, suddenly finds himself tasked fighting curses. To do this, he joins an organization of Jujutsu sorcerers and must locate all of Sukuna's fingers to end the curse. It might sound like a hunting game, but Jujutsu Kaisen is so much more than that. It connects, fast-paced, and perfectly balanced. The lore is deep, but the story never glorifies just one character. The fight choreography, the soundtrack, the energy, it all hits hard. The characters are lovable, especially Yuji, who's kind-hearted, is central to the story. Also, I love how the slow, balanced, dark situations with humor. Some of the horror elements were a bit unsettling for me, but fans will definitely enjoy them. Overall, the anime doesn't waste your time, but also doesn't rush the important moments. If you think that you've seen anything a battle anime can offer, watch this that you haven't seen anything like it. Trust me. Number 1, Attack on Titan. I don't even need to hype this one up. Everyone already knows the name, but watching this anime, I realized just how worth it all the hype is. Relentless momentum, shocking twists, epic large-scale battles, and hints of conspiracy. This is the core of Attack on Titan. The premise sounds a bit simple: giant humanoid titans devouring humans and humanity fighting back. But it's far from simple, especially when the people closest to you might not be on your side. The action is brutal and it hits hard because no one is safe. Up to season 3, the story is spectacular, with each episode building more suspense. Season 4 unveils the full story, and once you see the whole picture, you can't decide who is truly good or bad. Everyone has faced their own darkness. The animation is stunning, and Hiroki Sawano's rock-solid soundtrack elevates every scene. Attack on Titan is not just one of the most exciting anime on this list. It's arguably one of the greatest stories ever told in any medium. If you haven't watched it yet, trust me, you have no idea what you're missing. And with that, we've reached the end of the top 10 dark fantasy anime list. If you enjoyed this rundown, which I'm sure you did, don't forget to show some love by subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching.